Hello, hello. This is Kyle Russell, and I am so grateful that you have joined me, whether live or for the replay, because this is my virtual crystal meditation series. And I can be reached at crystalconcentrics.com. That's my website. That's my modality. The language of crystals that I have come up with, which varies in some ways substantially and sometimes overlaps what other people have to say about crystals. I was just watching my previous online meditation earlier today and getting ideas, but realizing that everyone is completely different. So just as you all are different, I'm different, and every time we do this meditation, it's going to be a different experience. And that includes if we were covering the same topic, next time would feel different than this time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring this little bell here, a meditation bell. And bring us right into it. The idea is to slow down, to close your eyes, step out of the day-to-day, prepare to take a journey inwards. Pay attention to your breath. Feel the sensations in your body and let them pass. I like to lead these meditations and also to teach while sitting down. It feels like that brings me closer to the earth. Now, some of you may not be ready for all that, closing eyes, journeying, etc. So I'll open my eyes a little bit and I'll tell you, last time I went through all the stones we were going to work with in advance. And this time I have chosen to sort of bring them out as we go through them. And what we're going to do is we're going to sort of take this meditative state that we're already in. Myself, maybe more than you, I was meditating to meditate. And that's not with any crystals. But this is a crystal meditation. And what I love about crystal meditations is that they bring you down, they ground you, they take your mental chatter and they provide an anchor so that you can be more rooted in yourself. And the last meditation I did was on grounding. And each one of these is very specifically focused. And so when I do this work around protection and the creation of sacred space, which is the topic of this meditation, I'm not going to really stray from that. You can mix and match stones depending on what you're trying to achieve or what sort of agenda you're trying to advance. But in this situation, we're going to keep it very simple, very straightforward. And we're going to be shifting between opening our eyes and closing our eyes. And we're going to really get used to being in and out of the third state, which is what I call that place between true sort of sleep in touchness with the subconscious and with the waking consciousness of day-to-day life, talking to people, dealing with situations, solving problems in the world. I want to begin by talking a little bit about sacred space. Sacred space is basically the idea of creating an area in which your consciousness and your body can feel secure, not intruded upon physically or energetically. And that includes sounds, sights, you name it. The importance is to segregate yourself somehow from the rest of the world, either in a closed room or in a space that you know other people don't travel through. This is possible even on the bus. You can just close your eyes and create a perimeter space around you. Now, I happen to use certain tools. This is an example right here. These are bamboo sticks, and the bamboo sticks I place around either my seated person, or if I'm working on another person, I will set these all around their body. And one of the things that we do, people do this to clear crystals. I personally happen to believe that the crystals come to us ready to go and don't need so much clearing because they already have the wisdom that they need to convey to us what we're supposed to get from them. I find that what needs clearing more often than not is we ourselves, us. The human mind is full of all kinds of garbage and doubts and arguments and questions, etc. And so what we can do is use some of the clearing techniques that we've learned. You can use sage, you can use bells, sound. I like the rattle sound of these sticks. And the reason I like to use these sticks is that they have a very natural, neutral energy. So even though they're not stones, they're very handy for creating sacred space. You could use almost anything to do it. Sometimes if you have a bunch of tumbled stones, usually of one color, that would be helpful. What I place in between the sticks are these sea beans, which are hollowed out, they're dried out, but they still contain that sort of seminal, potential, open possibility energy. And so I lay the sticks down and I put this between the sticks, and it helps to create a space that is pure and balanced. Now, what I do next, and I think it's very important for you to do this, is to clear yourself. I mentioned how people like to clear crystals, and I really believe that clearing yourself is key. So if you could close your eyes as I am doing. I want you to create that perimeter around yourself, sacred, safe space where there is no intrusion and where you can be yourself unfettered and uninterrupted. And feel all the sensations that are going on, all the thoughts in your mind, and begin to let them go. The key to creating space that is sacred is to segregate it from the rest of space. We'll be reconnecting with the rest of space later. But for right now, it's really important to have a room of your own, in your own mind, in this meditation. Next, If you want to crack your eyes a little bit open, I am holding two jets. These are round discs of jet, which is a petrified wood. I happen to be wearing the same thing around my neck. Jet is a lot like amber. It's very clear, it's very clean, it's very pure. And so what I had mentioned before is that instead of clearing crystals, we want to clear ourselves. So I'm passing the jet, which is pitch black, but strangely light, over my whole body, right down over my knees, to my feet. And I want you to imagine this same energetic flow happening for you. Over your eyes, over your head, around your ears, down each arm. You want to ritually purify yourself. Because it's impossible to truly protect yourself unless you can come to some sort of equilibrium or balance inside. Otherwise, your own fears and anxieties will eat you alive, and you cannot be safe and protected from the outside world. So again, this is the jet. I'm washing it over myself. I'm clearing out any doubts, any uncertainties, any unclarities and impurities from my person. And the process of this ritual of cleansing your body from the inside is also designed to help clear your mind. One of the great things about this sort of meditation is that the guided experience lets you no longer have to drive and guide your own thoughts. You're putting your trust into me to guide you through the process of getting to a better place of safety and protection. Next, I'm going to show you a pair of shungite bracelets. Now, shungite is another stone on the carbon spectrum that derives from fossilized plant matter. And it's also used in filters, water filters. And so what I do is I put these bracelets on, one on each hand. And what these bracelets are designed to do is to act as filters. Now that I've cleared myself and I exist in the context of the sacred safe space I've created, we employ these filters. And if you have shungite in other forms, you can lay it around you, or you can simply hold it. And the idea of the filter is to prevent any unwanted energies from coming into your space, into your mind, into your body. And you'll notice I'm getting increasingly comfortable with going in and out of the third state, as I hope this meditation will help you do. The next phase in our meditation, because what we've done is we've created sacred space around us, and then we have cleared internally and employed filters. Next, what we want to do is we want to actually create boundaries, a more solid physical, metaphysical boundary. And the way to use that, or the way to do that, is to use tourmaline, black tourmaline. And I was very lucky recently to find some really nice, large-sized, tumbled black tourmaline, which is very good for this purpose. Sometimes the lines and limits and boundaries that you're trying to create are more obvious if you can use crystallized tourmaline. For example, a piece like this. Huge, solid piece of black tourmaline. That's something I often rest at people's feet as a way of creating a limit and a boundary that is not to be crossed. And the other type of black tourmaline that I really like to use is actually double terminated. So you can see there's a termination on one side and a termination on the other side. And what I want to invite you to do is to feel these lines and limits. They can either be inside of the sacred space you've created, or you can line the outside of the space you've created with these boundaries, these limits, these do not cross signs, all as a way of further protecting yourself. This is a type of protection. You may want to use some of these stones in your workplace or in your car as a reminder of the boundaries that you want to set for others not to cross. So to review again, and the reason I review is for people who may have come on late, but also to help you really internalize the message and the process of this meditation. You want to create space, sacred space, that is yours alone. We did that with the border stones, sticks, whatever works for you. And then we use jet to clear and cleanse internally, followed by shungite to act as a filter. And then we go ahead and use black tourmaline as a way to further consolidate the borders of our sacred, safe space. Now next, what you want to do is actually guard this space. And the best stone that I have found for doing that is black smoky quartz, otherwise known as Morayan quartz. Okay, So Morion quartz acts as the guardian. So whether you have Morion quartz or whether you want to just use these, which I have here for you, I want you to feel free to look at them and internalize that energy. Take the visual impression, bring it into your mind. Imagine all along the borders of the sacred space, safe space you've created are guards looking out for you as your eyes are closed, and as your guard is down, their guard is up. They are watchers and guardians to protect you in this process. So you see the many layers and energetic sheaths you're able to place over yourself, the cloaks, the perimeter that you've created, and you can pass this Morion energy all around to help invoke the energy of the watchers and the guardians. Again, this is something you can take anywhere, whether you have stones or not. The energies that these crystals embody is and are available to you at any time. All you have to do is call for them, invoke them. Now that you've created this sacred safe space, I'm going to ring the bell again. I want you to just sit in it and relish what we've created here, and have your mind simply float and fly in this new place that is unencumbered, that is surrounded, protected. You are cleared. The lines and limits of your boundaries have, and you are guarded, protected, ready for anything. Even as your eyes are closed in deep meditation, hear the sound of the bell once again, clearing out any unnecessary or unwanted energies and letting you integrate all of the things that I've mentioned and am discussing. Here's the bell. Feel your body again, feel your consciousness, feel that there is no pressure ranging in on you. Feel that you can stretch, that you can move around in the space that you're in the space that you've created. Know that you're free to think about and imagine whatever it is that you need in this moment to bring you better confidence, certainty, safety, protection again. And now we have two other ways to go, two other ways to be. additionally, optionally, to this meditation. And one of them has to do with not just protection or guardianship, but actually defensiveness or offensiveness. And to that end, I want to bring in something that is more than a Merion. This is an irradiated quartz. And so what has been done here is that the quartz was put through a radiation chamber and changed from a kind of a milky, clear quartz to an entirely artificially generated black quartz. And this is more than the guardian, this is the defender. So this beams out an energy that is actively defensive all around you, behind, to one side, to the other side, behind, over, above, below. This is a way that you can go the extra distance in terms of not just setting your space, but ensuring that no one even comes near it. No one personally, energetically, spirits, whatever forces and energies you're trying to keep out and away from your space, you push away with this. And lastly, I want to give you one more option, one more tool for your toolkit of protection, safety, and sacred space. I'm going to ring the bell again for us to punctuate our meditation. I want you to savor this wonderful, safe, sacred space that is clearly delimited. You have cleared out the space within. You have drawn the lines and limits. All this with the jet and the black tourmaline. You have set up the guard, and if necessary, put out an emanation to ward off any evil eye or action, thoughts or intentions that might be directed towards you. This is the place of protection that we want to be in. Here is the bell designed to consolidate and coalesce all of these important energies. Now, lastly, I want to introduce to you a very powerful stone. This is called a ventifact. It is a three-sided shard of basalt that has been shaped by wind and sand over thousands of years in the open plains near the South Pole. And this material is what I call the black torch. And this is designed for you once you have created your sacred safe space, if you so choose, and you want to travel out of it astrally, energetically, and metaphysically move forward. You use this particular type of stone to lead and light the way. Very strong protection stone. You put it out in front of you and clear the path safely for you to bring this sort of energetic bubble of safety and protection out into the world anywhere you go. This is a very substantial piece of it. I happen to have smaller ones and even very small portable Ventifacts. So I'm going to hold this up as I go through the whole progression again. You can close your eyes if you like. Remember, we created sacred safe space, and you can shake around in order to get rid of any unwanted energies. You can use sage, sound, and then you lay these out around you, or any stone that you can find. I tend to like putting these sea bean pods between them to help create the space even more effectively. But what you need to do is, again, wash your being with the jet energy, this light, cleansing, clearing energy to prepare yourself for total safety and security within the bounds that you create. Black tourmaline comes into play. Outlining the do not cross line around you. Which in turn is protected with the Merian black smoky quartz. This is natural material, irradiated in the ground, but transmuted into harmless, safe, but powerful energy. And you have the option to push back and protect actively this space of yours. With an irradiated quartz like that. And if you do not have these stones, that is why we do these meditations, to bring you world-class power stones and let them be put into play for your purposes. And lastly, to clear the way, if you choose to leave the cocoon of your own sacred safe space that's very powerful, as what I call the black torch leading the way. And so now what I want to do is ask you to sit in that space, to see what comes up. Remember, we've created a situation where you are not being impinged upon by anyone outside, and my guidance of you through this meditation is only for your own highest good and protection. We even brought into play the Shungite bracelets. Any type of Shungite is good for this also. And now what you have is protection. There may be other issues you need to work on. There may be other areas of your psyche or your chakras that need help. But the function of this meditation is strictly to create and be in the presence of sacred space that is protected. I'm going to ring the bell again as a way for us to complete. This exercise is something you can do on your own. Like I said, anywhere you go, feel free to ask me if you need any advice. Kyle, K-Y-L-E, at crystalconcentrics.com. Savor and enjoy the complete surrounding effectiveness of your own protective bubble as created in this meditation. And when I ring the bell, I want you to begin to re-embody, to put yourself back into your mind and your chest and your legs and your feet and your hands. And realize that even though you'll be coming out of this sacred space, you can still carry some part of its protection with you wherever you go and invoke it whenever you need it. Here is that bell again. I'm going to open my eyes. You can feel free to open your eyes. And we will part with this image of the large tourmaline, black tourmaline, designed to be a part of your toolkit in achieving mental, psychic, physical, personal protection and sacred safe space. I wish you well and hope that you are able to successfully bring this energy into your life as you need it, and also that you will join me for other meditations on topics from healing to grounding, and the list will go on. There's many, many energetic states that we can enhance and intensify and advance by using crystals in combination with guided meditation. So thank you once again. I'm Kyle at crystalconcentrics.com. Feel free to email me any questions. I'm very grateful for having had this opportunity to both introduce you to these power stones and to show you how to use them in progression to create sacred safe space and invoke protection. Until next time, thank you very much.